Tell me something. Why is it important to invest in many different options?
It's important to a point. Diversification. That's the essence of some areas of finance. The reality is, in the way we invest, and what we're really doing is investing in our own personal account.
Yes.
We represent more than 25% of the capital in the fund. So when we invest, we're investing not just for our limited partners, but for ourselves as well. So we want diversification to a point. Therefore, Varana Capital is a highly concentrated portfolio of investments, typically no more than 10 to 12.
No more than 10 to 12. But that's a lot of also. It's not just putting, like we say, all the eggs in one basket.
That's
you
correct.
are putting it.
That's correct, but compare that to an ETF of the S&P 500 where you have so many stocks, then no one investment can really make that much of a difference, setting aside the overweight of the technology companies at this point.
Why to invest in these 10 to 12 different companies or possibilities?
So what we do is a little bit different than most companies. When we invest in a business, we actually sit on the board or advise the board of every company in which we invest. Right. We roll up our sleeves, both figuratively and literally, with our management partners to create value for not just our limited partners, but all members of the equity capital. This way, we create value, we have insight to the business, and we can influence the opportunity set that each of the businesses that sit in the portfolio influence the opportunity set that each of those businesses represent. It is highly imperative for us as investors, also as collaborators, to be highly engaged with each of the businesses that are in the portfolio.
Tell me something. If someone wants to invest his money, in a fund or in a company, what are the advantages to do it, with a fund like yours?
Because we're professionals. We've been focused on this literally for decades. I'm 58 years old. I've been in the business for more than 30 years. My partner is 11 years my junior, extraordinarily talented. He's been in the business for 20 years. For an average investor to be able to do the work that we do, to have access to the investments that we have access to be part of the partnerships that we have access to, is very, very difficult to replicate. And that's the value that an investor gets from investing with us. Additionally, again, because of our involvement in every one of the companies in which we're involved, in which we invest, we create enormous value, again, for our LPs, as well for all the equity shareholders of the companies.
Tell me something. All these companies, public and private companies, or places where you invest, I saw something that you are investing also in Israel or from Israeli companies.
Correct.
Why? We already know that they are the startup nation and everything, but it's a good opportunity.
Let me step back. I'll tell you a little bit about the genesis of the business.
All right.
And it might help give you an idea of why we ended up in Israel. It was not by circumstance, but really, or design, but by circumstance. So after a career in finance, I had done fairly well and wanted to invest my money for myself. Ezra, similarly successful, came to join me, and it was really just going to be a family office for Varana Capital. We opened it 12 years ago. My balance sheet, Ezra's balance sheet, we decided to do things a little bit different, focusing on this concentrated portfolio, focusing on partnering with management, top-tier management, in interesting businesses that interested us. A very successful, very wealthy friend of mine said, hey, can I give you an eyedropper of capital? You invested alongside yours, and you can provide the returns that you would be getting. We did very well out of the box. We did very well for him immediately. He told two friends, they told two friends, and these ultra-wealthy people like to invest as a group. We now, 12 years later, have over 70 limited partners. Wow. It's almost like we have an accidental business. So we have cultivated partnerships, we've cultivated relationships, and as part of that, Ezra, when he came to join me, actually had been in Israel. He had made Aliyah and had developed partnerships over there and contacts. So we made an initial investment. We got to know the Israelis. They're remarkable partners. They're incredibly well educated. They work very hard. They it's painful how hard they work at times. And because most of them were part of the army, they know how to cooperate.
All right.
They're very, very tough.
The first part, all right, I'm not going to discuss anyone. It's okay. No, but they are good companies, and they are very good investors. They know, and they are not afraid of doing and trying things.
Not afraid. And that dynamic creates an opportunity for investors in our portfolio.
Right.
We have extraordinary contacts there. We now have a great reputation as partners for these companies. And so those investments that we made beget new strategic partners, beget new opportunities. Hey guys? By the way, is it better with the opener closed?
You're good. You're doing very good.
Fine.
You don't have to answer any more emails now. We're in the middle of the interview.
Let me tell you. So I just wanted to make sure. So you can make a jump cut. So as an aside, so now I've been we go to Israel all the time. You can take me with you next time you go. While I'm not Jewish, I've been over there so many times I'm going to make Aliyah myself.
Perfect.
So it is an extraordinary country. As you know, like the Jews made the desert bloom. I have never seen a country with such gravitas. So it is, the opportunities are amazing, the people are amazing, and it's in some fashion really a privilege to be associated and part of that community.
Tell me something. You are an American company.
We are.
Investing in Israel, investing in Puerto Rico, investing in other places.
Argentina.
Why Argentina? Why now in Mexico? You are now coming to Mexico. Why?
So the business in Puerto Rico is a company called Go Beyond, effectively a loyalty program. We're moving into Panama right now, and then we're going to move into some parts of South America and then into Mexico. As I said to you earlier, when you look at all of Latin America, you see GDP of close to 7 trillion, a little bit under 7 trillion. More than a third of that comes to Mexico. 126 million citizens here. There's enormous opportunity from an investment standpoint, but also enormous opportunity to bring our product, our investment thesis, our dynamic, down to the citizens of Mexico and offer them access to a product that they very likely would not have anywhere else.
Are you looking for investors? Are you looking for people looking for opportunities? Are you looking for companies to invest? What are you looking in Mexico now?
We're looking for both. We're looking to provide access to our portfolio for investors who have the minimum capital for investment. We have $1 million minimum. So that's mostly going to be the higher net worth, if you will. But we also are looking for opportunities for investment. Creativity down here, the growth of the market, the explosion of the economy itself is clearly representative of kind of opportunities that we want to get involved in, create a tailwind, whether it's in fintech, ag tech, continue with our investment in electric vehicles, in electric motors. We want to explore the opportunity. We have a unique opening right now, as the economy is growing so heavily, to take advantage of that.
How do you see the economy? You already talked a little bit about which areas, but how do you see the Mexican economy now? How do you see it from the United States, investing in other countries? How do you see Mexico?
So GDP in Mexico is going to grow about 1% this year. Again, on a fairly large foundation. 2% again in the following year. That's awesome growth.
That's
awesome growth. We have the peso, which now is, the last time the peso was at this valuation was 2015.
Exactly.
That interestingly, that actually creates, in a way,
it creates problems and it creates benefits.
Of course, it creates an opportunity if someone wants to come into our portfolio, have access to what is really a very unique portfolio, they kind of get it at a discount. I think if the growth of the valuation of the peso from even earlier this year is up significantly, which is like buying our dollar at a discount. So,
exactly.
So it's an opportunity.
Very cheap now.
It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for someone to get into our portfolio at a very good price.
Because your portfolio is in dollars, so in a case it happens, it will be in dollars. Whatever it happens, or will be. So it's now a good moment to invest there.
And interestingly, our portfolio, we currently have 12 investments. 9 of them are private. 3 of them are public. the portfolio, even though the average investment duration is about 3 years, the pricing discovery is still in its nascency. It's still in its infancy. So we think, as well as we've done for our investors over the last 8 years, the life of the fund, we think we're going to blow the doors off of our historical returns.
Why the investment is only 3 years?
No, the average duration right now.
The average duration.
No, we typically invest 5 to 7 years.
And
We're
that's-
very long-term investors.
Yes, that's why I was asking.
No.
3 years, it was a little bit too...
It's below our average. But then what my point is, we sit on the board of all these companies, or we advise the board of all these companies. We have a bird's eye, not even bird's eye, sorry, we have a great perch to see where the value opportunities are. And because we've been invested in them for 3 years, we know them very well. And yet the return discovery, the price discovery has not yet exploded. The next 5 years are going to be extraordinary.
All right. Tell me something. Can you tell us a little bit which companies are you investing?
Sure.
Or whatever?
Sure.
I think it's important to know if you're investing, I don't know, in that or in the store in the corner.
EVR is an electric motor company.
Yes.
Ofer Doron is the CEO. He was a former rear admiral in the Israeli Navy. Extraordinary background, extraordinary history. This is a company that we invested in when it was just an idea on a napkin. They have developed IP to change the way that an electric motor is wrapped by copper.
All right.
That dramatically increases the power, reduces the weight, and reduces
All
the cost
right.
of production. People don't know it yet, but these guys are going to own the electric motor business for handheld tools as well as two-wheel and three-wheel vehicles.
All right.
It's gonna
2
be
and 3
fantastic.
wheels.
2 and 3 wheel. We already have multiple contracts in India. It's only going to grow.
They are an Israeli company.
There's an Israeli company.
All right.
New Reality. Moshe Tanakh is the CEO. New Reality came to us about 3.5 years ago. Moshe Tanakh is one of the best chip designers and very well may be the best chip designer in all of Israel. And about 3.5 years ago, he came to us and proposed an idea that he was going to create a chip specific for what is known as artificial intelligence inference. It's a fancy word for a data call. And what this chip was going to do is create a super data highway in servers for the exchange of data back and forth.
Right.
We did diligence on Moshe, we did diligence on the technology, and it was sort of almost a no-brainer because we knew artificial intelligence was going to be a thing.
Yes.
3.5 years ago. Who knew that today it is going to be such a central focus?
Yes, we don't know if this is really you answer us, or it's an artificial intelligence, or it's the one doing the questions. But yes,
But the point is, we're about to go. We're going to tape out, which means the chip is being manufactured,
Yes.
and then we're going to go to distribution.
All right.
And the business is going to explode.
Right.
And so this is a good representative example of our diligence dynamic, our investment process and thought process, and then frankly, just a little bit of luck that's going to create enormous value for our investors. Another Israeli company. We already talked about the company in Puerto Rico, Go Beyond.
Yes.
Extraordinary opportunity. This is going to be a flywheel. Effectively, I guess to put it in prosaic terms, it's changing the way loyalty programs are administered. You go to the website, sign up with your Visa card. We have a worldwide exclusive with Visa. And then you simply go to your local grocery store, gas station, restaurant, and you get 5 to 10% off every transaction based on how much you go each month.
Right.
We get a cut of every one of those discounts. The customer gets a discount on the transaction. The company gets higher traffic.
Yes.
We get a cut of every the business, and it becomes this virtual flywheel that just grows.
Yes.
The more customers that sign up, the more businesses that sign up, the more businesses sign up, the more customers sign up. These guys have cracked the code on loyalty programs. Now, we're moving this program into Panama. We're moving this program into Mexico. We're also going to move the program into Spain, we have a particular foothold there. We'll move it into other parts of South America, and then we're going to move it into the U.S. This is going to be a remarkable business.
Sure.
Luke Tedesco is the CEO with whom we work. We sit on the board. Terrific opportunity. So those are just some quick examples of
Very interesting
businesses.
examples.
They're super interesting, super exciting, and that's why I'm so enthusiastic about what we have here.
It looks you're enthusiastic, but let me ask you a question that many will be. There are many people that come to Mexico or to other countries or call you and tell you, we have the best investments, we have the best, we are sure, we are secure, we are. How to know really that it's a good investment, that it's a good opportunity, and that there is true, because there are outside many fake companies.
So completely fair.
Yes.
My partner and I represent more than 25% of the capital in the business. We make sure that we do extraordinary deep due diligence.
Yes.
Because we invest in only 10 to 12 businesses at a time, we can take all the time we want to invest in the 13th. There's no demand on putting the capital to work. We do what we think is most prudent for our limited partners and for our portfolio. So we're not worried about, we pay attention to fraud, but when you are looking at a business, doing the deep due diligence that we do on a person, it's going to be it's not impossible, but very unlikely that we're going to be caught in something that is fraudulent. Now, question is, how do people know about us? Okay, my business has been around since 2012. We codified our investment dynamic in 2015. We have an 8-year track record that's been audited. We have third-party confirmation of all our pricing, actually twice. We have one bank, and then our auditors also do confirming on pricing. So we are by the book, completely above board. We actually, neither my partner nor me nor anyone else in the company has access to investor capital. When we want to make an investment, we have to ask our third-party administrator, based on the documents we provide that we've signed that are legally binding, to send the money out, and they do their due diligence to make sure that what we have done is all legal and appropriate. So everything is completely above board.
Perfect. And the last question, because I know many people will ask, and it will be, I think, not the most important thing. Now, what are the risks and what are the gains?
Okay. So the risks are that we make a mistake. The risks are that that a business actually doesn't perform, that it runs out of money, that we're less worried about fraud. It strictly is business risk.
Yes.
And that's a risk you have in any investment
Sure.
that you make.
Can people who invest be part of your board or be a part of the decisions, or it's just invest and you decide what?
That's it. It is. The limited partners are passive investors.
All right.
My partner and I all make the proactive decisions. However, we have extraordinary relationships with not all of our limited partners. Some limited partners don't want to be bothered. They just want to get their quarterly their quarterly account statement and not be bothered. Others actually like to talk to us about the investments, hear about the investments, and if they have a particular expertise in an arena, we will actually use them to do due diligence on an opportunity. So it really is up to the limited partners how engaged they want to be with what we're doing.
And you didn't tell me what are the gains.
So
how somebody
so
can knows his money is secure. You already told him what I'm going to gain about.
So
what I'm going to
we invest in a highly concentrated portfolio focused on maximum return profile. We've returned well over 20% per annum in a highly tax-efficient fashion for our investors over the last 8 years. Where in fact we will be up a little bit off the record, but not off the record. We'll be up this quarter 15 to 20% net of all fees.
Right.
Because of the prospects that we see embedded in our current portfolio, because of the opportunity set, we think we are going to blow by those historical returns. As I said before, the next 5 years are going to be extraordinary.
And already, the last question. If somebody wants to invest or wants to present you his company to invest or want to do some business with you, it's possible how to do it, what to do. Because here there are many people that have big companies in electricity, in motors, whatever. and maybe they are looking for.
They can reach out to us at Varana Capital, Varana at veranacapital.com.
Perfect.
Varana is V-A-R-A-N-A.
Yes.
So Varana at veranacapital.com. If they want to invest with us, they can reach us there. If they have an investment idea, they can reach us there. If they just want to say hello, they can reach us there. We have offices in Puerto Rico. We have offices in Israel. We have offices in Denver, Colorado.
All right, and not far away, maybe in Mexico City.
And maybe Mexico City. Look, this is our first foray. We're having this interview for a reason. We want to get our product out there. We have extraordinary offering for the citizens of Mexico, the citizens of Mexico City. The banking system has not been able to keep up with the growth in capital here, and we are an alternative, again, now at a discount because of the peso. We are an alternative for investors who are looking for a place to put their long-term capital and to compound at a high rate. If we find the business here and we find the opportunities here and we continue to both allocate capital and find more investors here, absolutely. We are interested in opening an office, and I have a gentleman who I'm pretty sure would be willing to staff it right there.
Every one of you will be loving to be here in Mexico City.
Let me tell you,
I'm sure.
This would be a great opportunity, great excuse to come down a lot. No problem.
Welcome to Mexico, and welcome for you to be investing and producing for our country and other countries, and bringing opportunities from Israel also.
We're excited about the opportunities. We're excited to continue our relationship with Israel, and we're excited to grow our relationship with Mexico.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.